One fine morning, you'll wake up. You'll hear that familiar sound of birds chirping outside of your window. You'll get out of bed and rub your eyes. Just as you're about to make your way to the bathroom, your phone is going to ring. You will see your ex's number flashing across the screen. Buzz, buzz, buzz. You'll answer it and will finally hear that familiar voice. That voice you missed listening to for so long. The moment he'll talk, it'll feel like every part of him was filled with this unbearable sense of waiting. Like he's missed you unlike he's missed anyone else. And almost like a breathless boy of 16 with his heartbeat throbbing in his ears, he'll emotionally declare, "I miss you badly. I miss you crazily. Please forgive me. Please give me another chance." Excitement is going to ripple through your body and spill all over the place. Actually, I won't ask you to hold back. Savor this moment. Feel the relief. Feel the excitement. It doesn't matter if it's been a year since your breakup. It doesn't matter if you have begged, cried, called, or sent a million desperate messages only to get your number blocked. Heck, he could even be obsessed with another woman right now. But the moment you'll send just 2 of these mesmerizing messages, obsession chemicals will flood his entire body, and in a heartbeat, his mind will enter this rare nostalgic state, where he'll brush that other woman aside, and he'll miss your memories, he'll miss your touch, and almost like magic, he'll find himself overwhelmed with this strong, obsessive rush to have you back. There will be no looking back, no second thoughts, and no regrets. I know this sounds extremely impossible right now, but if you're anything like me, you know how painful it is when a person can wake up one day and decide that they don't love you anymore. And right after they leave, the race is on. With each minute that ticks away, your panic and stress rises. You feel like you're losing him. From one moment to the next, all you hear is the hammering in your chest and your breathing coming hard. It just takes everything in you to not pick up that phone to dial his number. You are sad, confused, angry, depressed, and even numb at times. I bet you've done one or all of these critical things. 1. Tried no contact. You probably deleted his number, deleted all his pictures, unfriended him on Facebook, Instagram, and every other place, only to realize that this digital age sucks. And moving on is literally impossible. One click and you discover a new picture of him having lots of fun with a new woman. And you're back to square one. And hey, no contact is almost impossible when you work with them or see them every day. 2. You pretended to be okay or tried to date other people, only to feel like you're betraying your ex, almost like you're cheating on them. Or if you're like a few lucky women I know, you got a slight glimmer of hope. You worked on yourself. You put on makeup, went to work, cooked, ate, shopped, pretended to be happy, flaunted yourself on social media, and you finally hear from your ex. You get your hopes up, only to realize that he barely feels anything for you and is dating that one woman you've always hated. Now she is getting to experience all the fun things you missed doing with your ex. My name is James, and I used to be just like you. It all began when I rang Mia's doorbell, my ex, 30 times in the middle of the night, until she threatened to call the cops on me. That night when I came back home, I had the most debilitating panic attacks of my life. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I felt like I was choking on air. I could be fine one moment and suddenly start crying like crazy the next. I spent my days calling and calling and calling her, begging her to take me back, until I was so exhausted that I'd pass out with the phone in my hand. I tried to not think about her, but it was like my mind had been invaded by her. I missed her terribly. I missed her charming little girl voice. I missed the way she smelled. I missed the back scratches. I missed her cute anger too. And it all hit absolute rock bottom for me one night when I woke up in a cold sweat. It was the worst nightmare of my life. I saw Mia and I saw a new man. This can't be true, I nervously mumbled to myself. I urgently fiddled with my phone to check Mia's Facebook. Oh my God, I felt like my oxygen supply was cut off. Mia had posted a new picture. She was on a motorcycle with this new man. She looked happy around him, all glowing. She was smiling like she had never smiled with me before. I literally began to shake. My desperation was like a volcano on the verge of erupting. My mind started racing. I bet they kissed. Maybe they did a lot more than that. Maybe they spent the entire evening in bed. Mia always used to do that with me. Next day, my cousin paid me a visit. I clearly looked and felt like crap. She knew I'd been crying the entire night. You want her back? She asked boldly. Here, call this number. What she gave me was a number to a fellow named Steve Pratt. He was a hypnosis master who specialized in reuniting couples. He looked like just another middle-aged man at first, until he said something so startling that it made me stop dead in my tracks. He said, "If you follow exactly what I am about to share with you, you won't just have her back. She would come crawling back to you, literally begging." Are you kidding me, Steve? It has been a long time, and she already has someone else. She's never coming back, I replied, almost trying to hold my emotions down. In the most calm voice, Steve replied, "Like I said, just do as I say, and she'll be the one begging you to take her back." Why not try, I thought. What did I have to lose? We then sat across a table, and Steve pointed out exactly why following the no-contact rule was killing my chances completely. Steve explained that the no-contact rule does work, but it won't get her back. You want your ex to miss you, but no contact actually gives them a chance to cool off. Gives them an option to forget you. With each passing day, they're forgetting you bit by bit, slipping away moment by moment, and connecting with someone else, building a new world of love with someone else. So no contact can sometimes mean you'd be out of contact completely. My emotions tugged at me. "So what should I do, Steve?" I asked. "You just have to gently plant thoughts of getting back together with you in her mind. And send her a few of my mesmerizing messages," he said. "Messages? But I've tried texting her, Steve. She never responds," I replied. Steve grinned slightly and said, "These aren't just any messages. Each message is like a mini time machine. It takes your ex back to that old, intense, obsessive state where they once felt addicted to you. These are specific messages that trigger a rush of dopamine in the human brain, causing an instant release of the obsession chemical that'll first get your ex obsessively thinking about you, which very rapidly transforms into a very deep craving for you all over again, until she would find herself fantasizing about getting you back at all costs." I sent one mesmerizing message to Mia that evening, and to my utter shock, she responded almost immediately. She said that she wanted to talk. I resisted the temptation, and although my entire body was itching to run over to her place, I just acted cool. I sent one more message the following day, and now she started texting me more, calling me more, asking me if I'd like to meet. But I still acted cool and didn't give in to the temptation. That evening, she went on this sudden spree of liking every new picture I posted on social media. And just when I thought it couldn't get any better, on the fourth day, she texted me and said, "I know I sound like the mad one, but I am missing you like crazy ever since you sent me that text. I made a mistake by letting you go. And now, if you allow me, I would like to correct that mistake. Can we please meet?" I was so excited that I could hardly walk. We talked all night just like we used to. Now she looked for excuses just to see me and always wanted me to stay a little longer. One meeting turned into a series of meetings, fun movie nights, and romantic walks. And one fine evening, it finally happened. She literally begged me to give our relationship another chance. It was everything I wished for. It was so random. I couldn't believe it. I was just elated. I went back to Steve and literally hugged him so tight that I choked him a little. "How, Steve? How did you do it?" was all I could ask with excitement doing circles in my belly. He said in the most calmest of tones, "Real love, once blossomed, never disappears." And these mesmerizing messages reawaken that once blossomed love. They have an almost hypnotic effect on the human brain. The moment someone reads these messages, blood flow rapidly increases to the pleasure centers of their brain. The old memories involving you and your ex will flood the screen of their mind like a pleasant movie. They'll be lost in the old touches, the smells, the sights, the sounds they experienced around you. At this point, their brain will release obsession chemicals throughout their body, and now they'll miss you deeply at first. Then, they'll feel this unwavering urge to look you up on Instagram or check your Facebook, and will obsess over you so deeply that they'll forgive you for every single thing, feeling desperate to spend time with you, looking for ways to ease back into your life again. Don't be surprised if you get a series of texts or emails from them after this. Actually, I attended Steve's underground secret seminar. I met more people there with crazy success stories. I met Martha, whose fiancé of 3 years basically abandoned her in the middle of planning their wedding. Her fiancé went back to his ex and told Martha that he can't be with her anymore. After sending just a couple of mesmerizing messages, this same man texted Martha out of the blue and confessed, "If I could undo what happened, I would. I was an absolute fool. I am missing you so much, it breaks my heart. Can you please answer my calls? I also met Stacy, whose boyfriend of 7 years had blocked her on everything. Even after 1 year of the breakup, she was still looking at his pictures and crying herself to sleep. But after just a week of harmless messaging, this man called Stacy late at night and confessed. I'm just going to be honest here. I don't know why I broke up with you. It was the biggest mistake of my life. And I also met Gia. She tried being friends with an ex in hopes that it'll eventually win him back. But all she got was a front seat view of his adventures with other women, as she saw him fall neck deep in love with this pretty little blonde that Gia hated. She had tried a couple of mesmerizing messages, and this very man immediately broke up with the blonde and he emotionally confessed, I'd be lying if I told you losing you was something I could handle. I now realize how much I need you in my life. Can you come back to me, please? I was excited, blown away, and inspired all at the same time. But then I was massively sad. Sad because Steve only shared this with a very small number of people. And you just can't get in. You have to be invited. This bothered me. I mean, I know what a breakup feels like. I know how it feels like to desperately text your ex over and over again, only to be slapped back with a barrage of no responses. I know how your entire being just feels dead. Honestly, I don't want anyone to go through that. Heck, I personally don't want you to go through that. So I tried to convince Steve to do something about this. I wanted him to share it with more people who are in a need of this. I wanted to, but then he only had 24 hours in a day. He can't help everyone. So I asked him to do the next best thing. And this is something that'll make you grin from ear to ear. Steve has done something for you, and you can have it right now, absolutely free of cost if you choose. He's converted his knowledge into a fun-to-understand online course. It's a complete system that you can read, understand, and apply within the next 5 minutes. We call it Hook Your Ex, the real shortcut to getting your ex back and keeping them for good. Now, you are only one step away from leaving your ex obsessed over getting you back. Get excited. Here is a little trailer of what's about to come. Try the remorse message. It secretly fills your ex with tremendous guilt for ever blocking you on social media, texts, and every other place. Now he'll unblock you within seconds, apologize for being silly, and he will send a barrage of messages like a teenager who has an almighty crush on you. The reignite message is the fastest way to make him obsess over you from morning till night. His mind will keep racing all day, wondering if you still like him, worrying if you have someone else. Did you have to settle for being just a friend with your ex? Don't worry. Send just a couple of my recharm messages, and your ex will suddenly find himself filled with an inspiration so intense that he won't feel at ease until he hears your voice, kisses your lips, or lovingly touches your face. Did you cheat but he just won't forgive you? Just casually send my Forgive Me Now messages, and for the first time in months or years, he'll open all lines of communication. He'll meet you, grab drinks, spend time with you, until eventually he spends every hour, minute, and second of each day expressing his love for you. Do you think none of this will work because you're in a long-distance relationship? The Miss Me Dearly message will make your ex drawn to you immediately in a crazy, almost chemical way.